So guys, right out that door, there's a balcony. We're on the 35th floor. Why don't we all just go jump off of it right now?
Holding hands?
It's better than this.
The Brotherhood of the Wolf.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Oops, the podcast. Giulio Gallerati, Ryan Lynch.
Yo.
Don't forget, 12/16, Toronto Royal Theatre. It's going to be a big show. I'm very much looking forward to that. So hopefully see you there. Danny, how you doing, pal?
I'm great, man.
Welcome back to the show, DP, the legend. Since he was last on the show, he's been doing well. How are things going, dude?
Good, bro. Just, same shit. Working, stand up, drinking, girls.
I heard that people you were approached about going on a nice date from one of our listeners or by one of our listeners.
Yeah. She's coming in from Germany, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, that's happening in like a couple weeks.
Sweet.
Yeah, I've been getting some regular DM slides from your gal fans, pal. It's been great.
Dude. Hey, I'm happy that that's working out for you, Danny. All is well. We were joking around with Danny the other day. And I was texting with him, and he was like, "I've been jotting down some stuff he said one thing to me, and I was like, oh, that's something we would talk about on the pod." And I was like, it might be a funny exercise to have Danny come on the show with a bunch of topics that he believes are like, oops, ethos aligned topics, and Lynch and I will score them and then proceed to talk about them. Does that make the most sense, that we score them first and then we attempt to talk about them?
I think so. This was your idea, right?
Well, I sent Giulio an idea just randomly, and he was like, this could be a good idea for topics on the show. Yeah.
And I've already forgotten which one that was, so hopefully you're intending to use it.
It's first. I have it,
Excellent. Yeah. So, yeah, I think the way that we do this, so Ryan and I are skilled enough podcasters at this point that even if a topic doesn't fit in perfectly with what we believe is an oops or is not an oops core topic, we talk about everything.
Yeah.
So maybe this won't work, but it will still be fun to do like the slam dunk competition. We write it down on our board, we hold it up, and then from there we discuss.
100%. It's a good idea.
So
I love it.
Why don't we go ahead and do it?
I have one each about each of you, so I'm probably going to get zeros from each of you on the ones that are about you.
Oh, excellent.
But we don't have to do this.
Let's do them all, Danny.
All right.
All right. Don't back down now, pal.
You're going to score lowly if the one makes fun of you.
We'll see. We'll see how good of a zinger it is.
And once again, what are we measuring here on a scale of 1 to 10?
10 being the highest.
Of what?
Like
what
how well did Danny's topic fit in? Like if Danny was a writer for Oops, if we had that.
Got it. All right, I get it.
How good are these topics based on what we typically talk about throughout the history of the show?
And you'll talk about the topic as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
We intend to then dive into the topic itself.
Love
This
it.
is a nice exercise. So Danny, why don't you start us off?
Okay. I'll start with the OG topic. I texted Giulio, as a guy, if you're eating by yourself, do you ever eat with your shirt off? And I was like, never. I think that's kind of like garbage behavior. It just doesn't feel right to eat with your shirt off.
Okay. I will first.
I was a little nervous
I'm
during
gonna
the
score
scoring.
this right now.
Jesus.
I give that one an 8. I think it's pretty good.
Wow, thank you.
Give me a chance. I wasn't changing my score. I give that a 10.
Bro, thanks.
Yeah, but also I give it a 10 because I agree with this statement. 100%. Do you eat shirtless?
No.
Oh, you're against it.
I'm against it.
You're disgusted by it.
Yeah, it's a little gross.
Fair enough, but like
just throw on a t-shirt. You want to get cereal milk in your chest hair, dude?
Well, I tend to eat shirtless after I work out. I tend to eat dinner after I'm done working out. So like, why am I gonna risk the opportunity of staining a nice workout shirt? And why would I put on another t-shirt when I need to shower after I eat anyway?
Why don't you shower first and then eat, you fucking Neanderthal?
That's fair. What do you think, Giulio?
So it's funny. When Danny mentioned this to me, I fully agreed. Cut to the next meal I ate, I found myself eating it shirtless.
What, to spite me?
No, not even. I was like, oh, this is weird that this worked out this way. I was like, I never eat shirtless. Then I found myself eating shirtless. And I'm like, do I eat shirtless? I don't think I do. But I will say this. Sometimes, okay, I'll work out. I need to shower. But for whatever reason, I've now like re-dried. I know this is disgusting, but like, and now for whatever reason, I'm really reluctant to get in the shower. I've just done the hard thing. I don't want to do anything else hard. For some reason, showering feels difficult at that moment. So I'm like, ah. So I'll just like put it off. I'll eat in my workout clothes still. I guess, like I agree with what Danny's saying. Like any kind of shirt, like you're eating some sort of spicy thing, you get hot sauce on your chest, and then you're like
Garbage.
You're like licking your finger after you've wiped it off your chest. It's
Better that than your shirt, though.
maybe, but I don't know.
Sorry, I
you
came
just
hot.
like why are you? Yeah, like why are you getting shit on yourself as you eat anyway? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you shouldn't be spilling in the first place.
You shouldn't be spilling to begin with, but I see where both of you guys are coming from on this. Like, well, you don't want to get your shirt fucked up with oil or whatever, stuff that like won't come out, but you also don't want to get that on your body, dude. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you, fucking Cro-Magnon man, hunting through the countryside,
Right.
trying to find a beast?
It's also manners, you know? Like, you can have manners by yourself. Do you chew with your mouth open when you're by yourself? I don't, because
I
that's
don't.
gross.
No. I don't know. I feel I also I don't consider myself a gross person, and
Yeah.
I tend to eat shirtless.
So then why'd you
when
say you
know
agree
something.
with him at the beginning? Just out of curiosity. You're like, I agree with you.
I think I said that incorrectly, or I was confused. I thought that you thought it was okay to eat shirtless. So I'll probably just edit that and fix that.
No, this is great. I like this, Danny. That was really good.
Fun.
Yeah,
That was really fun.
I give it an 8 because it's so specific. It's very Danny Palmer. Dude, if you want to have good vibes, eat with a shirt on, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you ever eat with the shirt off, dude? You're just getting cereal milk in your chest hair? Gross, dude. Chicks don't like cereal milk in chest hair, dude. That's
I
pretty
definitely
good.
don't.
That's pretty good.
Is the answer different for women? It's probably different for women. Might be a little weird to eat with your boobs. Just my tits out.
Guys, this has been a great episode already. Wow, we need to
Fun.
start doing this more often.
Yeah.
We should come in with prepared specific topics instead of I'm like, I was in Oklahoma eating shit on the side of the road.
My flight got delayed.
No one cares. Yeah, I was at the airport. Oh, nice. Really relatable.
Cool.
All right, Danny, next topic before you start upsetting people.
I know, right? I was just about to like name specific comics about their pod. Okay, how about I think it's important to hold firm. If you're on a run and you're on the right side of a sidewalk, like in an urban area, like Manhattan, like East Village, holding firmly to control the far right side of a sidewalk while you're on a run. Because if a walking pedestrian is just oblivious and not yielding, it's like, dude, scoot over. Like, I'm on the far right side. I'm clearly on a run. You're walking. You can obviously move to the other side of the sidewalk. So I'm not going to like go all the way around them because there might be other people there too. So I just like I will come to a full stop and just look at them, glare at them until they give me my berth on the right side of the sidewalk. I hate when people don't yield to runners. I'm running. Wow, dude, 2 tenths.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Pretty good.
100%.
Wow, thanks, man.
If you're listeing, 10. You have,
I give
audibly
him an
say
8.
too. Yeah.
So right now, okay, let's do a cumulative score too. So along the top of our whiteboards, let's list our score for each one, and then we'll give Danny his cumulative score. at the
Wait,
end.
real quick. I need, because now my brain's going to go insane. What was the first question that you asked? Because I wrote a 10. And
Yeah.
that was in agreement with what you said, right?
Right.
Okay, so I should have just put a 0.
No, it's not about agreeing or not necessarily. It might just be about whether or not that's an appropriate topic to discuss on this show.
Got it.
Based
Okay,
on the things
okay.
we typically discuss, which I
Okay.
think would keep your answer the same.
But if he disagrees, isn't that going to lower his score, which is unfair
Well,
to
it's a
me?
different
No,
kind of
not necessarily.
All right.
Yeah, we're good.
Because it's not about agreeing or disagreeing. It's about agreeing as to whether or not that's something worth discussing on the show.
Okay.
Got it.
In my opinion. If you, yeah.
No. I agree.
I think
It's
that
just
makes more
when
sense.
you say that, then I start thinking about like where I lean on that. Never mind. We're good.
So yeah, this is another, in my opinion, completely unreasonable take on Danny's part, but I do think it's good talking about.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I think that people running on the sidewalk are a fucking menace to society. Bro, you're the one running. You get to dictate. Like, it's the same way when you merge onto a highway. Like, if you speed up, you get to set the tone for how the other person reacts. Same thing should be with running. If I'm walking, I don't know that you're about to just whiz by me because you're too OCD to miss one day fucking running. I'm not talking about you in specific. I see people outside, it's sleeting, and they're like, whew, and they're about to start running, and they're in shorts. I'm like, dude, like, enjoy your life a little bit, dude. For fuck's sake, go on a treadmill. If Okay,
Right.
I get the outdoor run feels better or whatever, and
It's also the side of the street, left side versus right. In America, would you drive on the right? If this was England, I would run on the left. It's also like country aligned.
But that doesn't work when there's sidewalks. That's only when there's.
Why not?
If you're running in the road, that makes sense because you want to be in a position where you are safest. But when it's the sidewalk, you're not going to be in the road. So you should be running on the right side.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
but if they're walking on the side that I'm trying to run on, that's not fair. And also, it fucks it up if you turn a corner.
Why is that not fair? They have the right to walk.
They can also walk on the right side because we're in American society.
You're on the right side.
Yeah, but they're walking towards me on my right side. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay.
They're not adhering to the
I didn't know
flow
that's what
of
you
traffic.
meant. Okay, so you're saying that the person walking toward you is walking on the wrong side.
Correct.
Got it.
Sorry if I didn't explain that correctly.
Everyone should be on the right side.
Yeah.
They're right.
Agreed.
Because if you don't, then you also, when you turn a corner, then you just bump straight into somebody if they're on the right. I hate that.
100%.
And you mentioned that early on you set the expectation, hey, this is my lane, this is where I'm going to be as I pass you. I'm giving you time to prepare to move because I've already established that this is my route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long block. I'm running. You're not running. Can you like yield to me as I'm exercising? You fucking lazy piece of shit.
Now, what would you do if somebody was in your way and they were looking at their phone? Would you run into them or would you run around them?
I wouldn't run into them.
Would you
I would
say
stop.
something?
No, I wouldn't say something. I would just stop and, I'm not going to cause a scene. It's not worth causing a scene over, but it's annoying.
Here's my thought on this. I agree with you in general. You should be on the right side, walking straight, and the left side in the other direction. That keeps things harmonious. That's how we're supposed to be doing it.
Yeah.
I don't, however, believe that it's somehow different because you're running. Like, I think that we should all adhere to the rights because that, like, the place we should be walking because that just makes sense. But the sidewalks are for pedestrians, not for people running, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it's Manhattan. Like, this is the only room we have to go for a run. We don't have, like, to get to a park, I have to go down the sidewalk.
True. That's fine. But I still think that as long as people are just like, whether or not you're walking or running, the person walking on the wrong side of the sidewalk is an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do that all the time.
It's funny you bring this up. I was kind of telling you this story before. I was in the airport and I'm walking down the hallway. I'm not paying attention. I'm looking at my phone and I'm walking on the left side of the airport. Now the only thing I'll say, the airport hallway is wide enough that me walking on the left side is not necessarily massively problematic. Okay. However, I approach these two people walking, almost look like a father-son. And as I look up, I don't really have anywhere to go and I walk between them. It was ultimately fine, but I was wrong, but it was ultimately fine.
Yeah.
But I hear the guy go, "Watch where you're going, dipshit."
Oh,
Zach McGovern, who's with me. And this is a perfect example of like standing up for somebody, but like in a way that was unnecessary. He turns around and he goes, "What'd you say, motherfucker?"
Oh my God.
"What the fuck did you say, motherfucker?" And I was like, "Zach,
right.
thank you for sticking up for me, but it's not necessary." It's like, this seems pretty extreme.
Dude,
how old
classic.
was the son?
The son didn't say anything.
How old was he?
He was probably like 20. I don't really remember.
Okay.
Like 20s, and the dad must have been like 60. But whatever.
The guy was out of line, but then Zach was also out of line.
Everyone was out of line. Yeah. I was out of line. He was out of line. Zach was out of line. We were all out of line.
We're all out of line.
Very nice. Very nice, Danny. Well done so far.
Thank you.
Let's keep it moving.
I'm scoring pretty high so far. Dude, I appreciate it.
Of course,
You're doing
so
well
far,
for
so
both of us,
good.
dude.
I feel like we've like are 0 for 3 on like fist bumps and daps so far.
Did we not hit it right?
Like the tip of my knuckles. That was on me.
Come on, we're pie caps, dude. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I forgot you guys. Was that the secret handshake?
No.
Oh, we
No,
don't do
no,
that in front of you, pal.
That's
That's none of your business.
All right, dude.
Just
Cool.
kidding.
Have fun fucking blowing each other in the bathroom.
That's part of it.
brotherhood.
Brotherhood.
Guys, if you want to hear where'd you get that this holiday season, we highly recommend getting your gifts for people from Uncommon Goods. The name says it all, and it's a great place to shop. I've already started getting some gifts for people on there. I got my mom something really cute. I'm looking at it right now, but I don't want to ruin it because I know that she listens to the pod. I got my manager a 50-day fitness advent calendar.
That's
because
cool.
He's expressed to me that he wants to get in shape. So I think it'll be like a fun and funny thing. And who knows? Maybe he'll actually get in shape using it.
It's a sick website. There's so many different things. Like I ordered Chili Crisp hot honey off of here. It's actually a collection of different Chili Crisp products. I really like Chili Crisp.
I do too, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad you
among
like
so
this
many
one.
other things. This website is awesome. There's
It
so
rules.
many cool options.
It's the best, man. When you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. These fine products are often made in small batches, so shop now before they sell out this holiday season. And that is true. A variety of unique items, a lot of cool customizable stuff. We think it'll make the perfect gift. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. From art to jewelry to kitchen, home, and bar. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, and with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit of your choice. So, to get 15% off of your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/oops. That's uncommongoods.com/oops for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We are all out of the ordinary.
Do you think it's ever appropriate to insult the appearance of a woman's dog? Because I did. At work, too. To insult the appearance of a female coworker's dog. You don't like that one?
I give that one a 3.
3? Fuck. Oh, 2?
So,
We just
Come on.
we don't like pick on gender specific things on the show. It doesn't mean this isn't a good, it doesn't mean that this isn't a good topic.
Right.
Again, I just wonder like Danny making it more specific than it needs to be. Why can't this just be insulting anyone's dog?
Because I think it's more interesting. A woman coworker's dog, I think, is a tricky subject.
Okay. So explain why you feel that way.
Just because it's not nice, you're never supposed to insult a woman's appearance. But what about the corollary? Can I insult a woman's dog's appearance?
But but if you see a man with a dog, you're like, dude, look at your fucking stupid dog, dude.
I mean, I wouldn't
That
say
is
that.
one stupid looking dog. That's completely fine.
If it was my guy coworker that I was friends with, I'll feel much more comfortable than if
Shitting
it
on
was a
his
woman.
dog?
Yeah.
Have you shit on someone's dog before and they took it well?
Yes, I shit on this lady's dog and she took it well.
She did.
Yeah.
So what'd you say about the dog?
I was like, are you going to get that thing washed at any point in the near future?
Was it gross?
I thought it was a little gross.
It looked.
She's like, yeah, he's due for a trim or whatever. I'm like,
What kind of
he's
dog is it?
overdue for a trim, dude.
do you parlay that into like a flirty conversation? Because I could see you like saying it. You know how like you always tease someone that you have a crush on when you're little. Like you could make a comment like that about someone's dog in like a sexual way.
Very good,
you know?
Ryan.
Yeah, I don't think if I was into her, I definitely would have. I'm not averse to doing that. But with this woman in particular, she's more senior than me in the organization. I shouldn't be doing that. I'm not really into her, so I wouldn't do it with her
You
in
got a
particular.
dirty
What if you
dog.
were into her?
I'd do it.
You would still make fun of the dog.
It depends on
Or
how
you
well I
would
know
do
her. I know her pretty well. I knew she wouldn't take offense at that. And she didn't.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, by the way, I scored that a 3. Ryan scored it a 2 in case we didn't say it out loud. So, my scores right now are 8,
What is
8,
it?
3, and Ryan 10, 10, 2. So, just because, again, we thought it was inappropriate. Not inappropriate, but neither of us would be like, dude, do you ever shit on a woman's car? It's just really arbitrary to bring gender into it, specifically, in my opinion. Feels very antiquated. Danny's like, you can't insult the possessions of anything that a woman has. It's inappropriate.
Yeah.
He's like, this is actually, you're really, what you were doing was creating an allegory to show that you didn't approve of her body.
Dude, that was deep.
Is that thing ever
Likely true.
Is that thing ever going to go for a walk?
The dog, the dog.
The dog. Danny likes dogs, by the way. Danny dog sits for Corinne Fisher.
Yeah.
Danny is a dog sitter, so he's not an anti-dog person. He just thought this dog was gross. She brought it to the office.
It just needed a wash. Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Bringing dogs to the office.
All for it. They're great. I've brought Corinne's dog to that office.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this dog was just kind of gross.
It was just like, it just needed it was like the hair on its face was like, or head was kind of like wet. I was like, why is it wet? I mean, I didn't say that. Dude, dry your dog off before you bring it to the office.
Yeah. Why is your dog swimming in the toilet?
Yeah.
In the fucking office, lady.
A little bit weird.
Dude, as Ted Jones famously said once, this is one of the more preposterous comments in my opinion. He's like, oh, I just ran into so-and-so. Her dog punched me in the balls. I'm like,
What?
dude, what are you
None of
talking?
that makes sense.
The dog wasn't like,
Yeah.
Dogs don't punch people in the balls, dude. The dog got excited and it happened to hit. And he goes, whatever.
The face is perfect.
I'm like, dude, no, that's preposterous. Speaking of which, I have a side tangent that is, I think, worth talking about. So I went to a comedy Halloween party on Saturday night. Everybody's drinking a lot, whatever. It's fun. Somebody says some like kind of offhanded comment to me, and I sort of I didn't let it go. I was like, okay. And I nicely replied. I said, I don't want to get into too many specifics because I don't want to seem lame that I'm talking about this. I think it's better for me to like let it go. But like they said something kind of rude. I noted the fact that it was rude and that this person shouldn't take my generally easygoing demeanor and take it for granted. And then she sort of apologized, tried to be funny about it, but then it was kind of weird. And then I couldn't help but after I left the party, assessing every single conversation that I had had and making sure that I didn't say anything weird. I'm like, did I say anything weird to him? And woke up the next day with just a little bit of anxiety about it. I then get to the stand that night and Joe walks up, who was also at the party. And the first thing he says to me is, dude, if I said anything weird last night,
No way.
I'm like, and he didn't at all, but it's funny that every single person went home and was self-assessing their behavior.
Yeah.
Especially since it's comedians who are like way more self-analytical. It's just an entire room of people who walked home melting down after the party.
I do that too. I'm glad I'm the only one.
Did I say anything weird?
Yeah.
Whatever.
I do that too. I wake up like hating myself about something, and then I'm like, maybe that's not even something to hate myself about, but I do.
Yeah, I know. It's tough out there, dude.
Yeah.
But still go out there and be social, folks. Don't rob yourself of good experiences because you're afraid of being a...
But then if you bring it up to them, it might be weird to bring it up. And then revisit it. And then so you have to just live with the angst.
You'll never know. You'll never know whether or not you said something wrong.
I'm trying to be better about that. Just like existing with whatever I'm doing, not being complete, and knowing that some of the good things will just take a lot of time to complete. That's fine.
What do you mean by good things?
Whatever. If it's like a long-term project I'm working on, I'm trying to put my special together, or whatever it is that I'm doing where there are like dozens of obstacles standing in the way of the finished product, that's okay. It's all part of it, one step at a time. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, right?
Yep. Whatever. Smart. Yeah. Like you said, your friend gets all angsty about traffic on the way to the Hamptons. You're like, there's always going to be traffic on the way to the Hamptons. Yeah. There's always going to be obstacles in the path.
Also Ted Jones, by the way.
Oh, was?
He's one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Tim and somebody else.
Yeah.
He'll just be sitting there chewing his fingernails so hard. I'm like, bro. Good. And he realized, he's like, yeah, you're right. This is great.
Can't control it.
He does not want to stop for the bathroom. He's like, go to the bathroom before we head out. I think he's gotten more chill about it, actually, over time. But at one point, he was severe.
Thanks to your coaching, probably.
Unclear. We got to ask.
Unclear.
Ted Jones, let me know where you're at currently with the drive to the Hamptons. Next topic.
Here we go. Oh, okay. What is the? I guess it's gender specific. Most of mine are going to be gender. What is the number of covert glances you're allowed at a specific girl's butt at the gym?
We're doing the scale of appropriate topic, or
like if 10 is oops, 0 means it's not oops. We can still talk about this. Obviously, it's a good topic in general, but
okay. Hold on one sec. Wait, don't say yet.
I didn't know that there was an oops specific genre.
Danny, there's you don't win anything if this goes well. It's funnier if you have some that don't fit in with the ethos.
It's a 7 for oops and 3 glares is my answer.
Glances?
Does that make it a 10?
Yeah.
Oh, you're scoring? I like your scoring system better than mine. I'll let you do
That's hilarious, dude.
That's nice, Ryan.
I agree. 3 feels right.
3 strikes and you're out.
Yeah. If she catches you in the first one, there's no more allowed.
Yeah. You get picked off.
Second get caught, you're done.
So
imagine the communication just between your eyes if you get caught a second time.
Dude,
I feel like I've had that.
I just imagine Danny like staring at a girl's butt. He looks up, she's staring at him, and he starts to go, and then he goes, sorry, dude. I don't know. Danny. You start talking to yourself as she's still, Danny, why do you do that, dude?
Oh.
She's like, oh, okay. Just as I suspected, this guy's not well. That's hilarious. Okay, so the question is, how many glances are you allotted?
Covert, not like,
Well, couldn't one say that as many as you can pull off covertly?
It's the fair question.
That is one of the...
If a girl's really hot and she can't tell, I go more than 3.
Okay, so do you believe in the idea that... Because I've heard people say this. I don't agree with it, because I'm not allowed to. It's just something that I shouldn't be saying aloud potentially. And secondly, because also additionally, I potentially don't believe in it. But there's a school of thought that says if you dress provocatively enough, it means people are allowed to look at you.
Oh, that sounds like a real down. You're on your own with this course. Course of thought.
I don't think that. I actually don't think that.
Yeah.
I will not fall for such a trap.
Right.
Even if, here's this person is wearing something that has been painted onto them basically, and somehow me looking is not appropriate. Let's say that's the case. How do you feel about this?
Me?
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
what
I
would
feel
you
like-
say to people who say that?
I mean, I feel like all girls' clothes are painted on at the gym because when they wear the yoga pants. So
Not
like they're
all,
all going to
not
look
all.
pretty much, not all, but I mean 90% of women wear yoga pants at the gym, and a tight top too.
See if we can stat check this. Yoga pants and a tight top. This might be a hard thing to quantify.
Stat check.
I feel so.
Just
What
walk around the gym.
what is the phrase?
That's pretty tight. Your clothes are tight, miss.
How big was the sample size, Danny? Did it only happen at New York Sports Club on A and Second Avenue?
Good memory.
Is that where you go?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Temple. Now it's called Temple, but yeah.
Nice.
I'd be weary of anybody that would make a comment like that, because that's very close to like a like if they were to get harassed, it's like they're asking for it because of their outfit type of situation, and I don't think that that's a good train of thought.
We're not allowed to say that, and it's wrong. Don't gawk, dude.
No.
It's weird to gawk.
Yeah.
But my answer to Danny's question is as many as you can get away with, brother.
Brother.
Ultimately, what do you say to that, Ryan?
I
You
said what
three.
I
You
said.
said three, right?
What do you
Three.
think?
I think I'd stick with 3 too.
Yeah.
Unless she's like insanely hot and there's no way that she can see and there's not a lot of people in the gym, it's like, all right, well then I'm gonna look every time you can't tell.
And if she catches you and if she's insanely hot, you just like shrug your shoulders and like, come on.
Come on, look at your ass, hon.
Yeah. Come on, you think I wasn't? No, that's interesting. But what if you position yourself intentionally behind her so that you can look the whole time? Does that only count as one look? Or every time you break eye contact, you're looking at, or is this a different category altogether?
I mean, I think if there's no mirrors and she can't see you, then all bets are off. Unless if another woman can see you doing it, then that's kind of disrespectful to that woman maybe a little bit. So like, I don't know.
Dude,
you don't
that's
create an
amazing.
Peeping
environment.
Tom energy.
Dude, you're
Yeah,
looking at
exactly.
someone's ass, another woman catches you and is like, you're not going to look at me, and you just go, well, spin around, toots. You want me to look? If you
Let's
see
see what
Danny
you
in the
got.
gym, ladies, make sure you run or put on baggy clothing immediately.
Put on a sarong.
Hey there. Do you ever hit on a girl at the gym?
I have in Atlanta once, and it worked out. I think I took her out, but I'm not beyond there.
Not here?
Not beyond that. No, I've never done it here.
What's your hold up?
I feel like they're sweaty. They're working out. Everybody's like kind of time sensitive. Like I'll talk to those staff, and sometimes the staff are trainers. And if I establish a connection, this one girl's name is Tanya. I'll be like, hi, Tanya. So if I see her, I'll be like, hey, Tanya, just to show her that I remember her name. But that's like an established connection from her working there, not like some chick at the gym, you know?
So you think the sweatiness means that she maybe doesn't want to be approached because she doesn't look her best?
I feel like maybe, or like, yeah, I'm working out. Now this guy's hitting on me. You know, just because I
It's
wore tight
annoying.
clothes at the gym doesn't mean
Right.
it's an invitation for you to like try to mac on me.
Or to stare at my ass?
Allow me my private stare at my ass. Yeah.
Unless there are no mirrors, in which case all bets are off.
They're gonna have your photo in the front saying, "Don't let this guy in," like a shoplifter.
I'm covert, bro.
Dude, nothing icks me out more than somebody mansplaining like weightlifting technique to a woman in the gym
Oh, yeah.
as some sort of vehicle to hit on her. Have you seen that before? Well, you need to.
Yeah, I've
Have
heard
you
about
considered-
it. It's pathetic.
It's bad. It's bad.
Lame, dude.
But look, I think that like, to me, hitting on somebody at the gym, it just depends, dude. Because this is the thing: you see a woman in the gym, she looks great, right? I'm like, wow. But then I'll see a guy. I don't care how good that guy looks. I'm not impressed by the way that he looks. I'm not inspired to get in shape by looking at any man in the gym. But sometimes I'll see a woman who looks really good, and I'll be like, ooh, I want to look like that, which makes no sense. I don't want to look like
You've
that.
said that before too.
Yeah, sometimes women looking amazing inspires me to be in shape for some reason that I can't fully pinpoint.
Do you want to be a woman?
No, but I know I have like a fiance. I know I have a fiance now, so it doesn't matter. But I'm saying like something about it. Maybe it's like, ooh, I want to like look good enough to have it make sense to like talk to that person. Like, even though I'm now taken and I don't think that way anymore, maybe it's like rooted in something like that.
Just to be like the peak of what you could look like.
Yeah.
It's like an inspiration.
I do moves with Molly. She was this basically like, she did this thing called cardio sculpt. I used to go to it a lot. I got injured doing it, and then I've kind of not gone back to it. I don't even think she works at the gym I go to anymore. But she looked so great, and I'd be like, I want to look like moves with Molly, dude. I know.
Nice.
I know, but like not actually, obviously.
Right.
I want to look like a chick, but you know what I'm saying. So
That like, yeah, I know what you mean.
it doesn't really fully make sense. But I do think that hitting on a girl in the gym could theoretically work. The only problem is it's hard to not be the leaning against the machine. So you come to this gym often? You know what I mean? It's like almost like being in shape in that situation hurts you. But obviously you can't be a schlub either. It feels difficult to pull that off.
I feel like it's disrespectful of the time that she's allotted to work out. Unless it's just a glance or like a comment like, are you done with that machine? Like just something small and innocuous, but not starting a conversation. Because I don't like when people start a conversation with me.
Oh yeah, hate it.
So-
I hate when people are near me.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than being on a treadmill and there's 10 treadmills open and there's someone right next to you. What are you doing?
There's another oops topic right there in my book. Like, yeah.
That has been an oops sock.
Oh, it has been? Okay.
But you're right. It's good.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, I went to the bathroom at a Yankees game, and there were probably like 12 stalls open, and I went pee, and there was a guy, and he went right next to me.
Dude.
And Ryan couldn't pee.
And now I'm pee shy, forever.
Because you think about that.
Just when I'm in public, like
You
when I'm
think about
at
that man.
events and stuff, I just, for whatever reason, I just can't go. And then I wait in line, and then I stand there, and then people notice that other people next to me have gone and left and gone and left, and I'm still there, and then I end up just zipping up, and then I just leave, and I'm just so full. I don't even
He's
go to
full
the
of pee
bathroom.
and anxiety.
I feel you, bro. I've been there, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Danny has pee anxiety too.
Sometimes, yeah.
It's okay.
Depends on how bad you have to go.
I'm really hydrated, dude.
Sometimes if you like you have to like close your eyes and you have to really, you know how like people say like, oh, think about something else so you don't come while you're having sex.
Yeah.
It's about that, but for peeing. Like think about something else
It's
so
the
that
opposite.
you can pee. Yeah, so you can release.
Yeah. If it's a tense, tight space and it's like somebody I know and it's just weirding me out, I'll plug my ears sometimes. And then it almost feels like a river. You
So
know,
if
like,
I was there next to you, you might plug your ears.
what?
If you're standing to my right, I'm to my left. I come up right next to you. There's no barrier.
No, I wouldn't do it.
I now am only holding it with my left hand too, so I'm fully open to you. Alpha dogging you. As you sit there going, I wish there's no place like home. There's no place like home.
I would only do it in a stall by myself.
Yeah, I'm fucking right.
Really couldn't say, yeah.
Ryan can't help but just think about that man penis in his peripheral vision as he sat there trying to pee at the little stall.
2004.
Dude, I'll never forget this. I was peeing one time in a Stop and Shop. You know how, like, by the way, that's got to be like a more risky bathroom to let your kids pee in. That like back corridor Stop and Shop bathroom that like you need to ask them where it is, but it's technically a public bathroom. I'm in there all by myself using the man urinal, and there's also like the kids urinal, the shorter one. Some like 6'8" guy walks in and starts like figuring out how to pee in the small stall, and he like bends down his pee and he just looks at me and he goes, "Do it." That was pretty good. I'm like, that's funny. All right, fair enough.
That's hilarious.
In the future, I'll use, like I was a kid, so I was like, I guess I'll use the kid one. Ryan, this holiday season, I want to give a gift to my loved ones that makes them feel special and unique, just like the relationship we share. And that's why I'm giving people that I care about the gift of Storyworth.
Sounds really nice.
It's really cool. I've given this gift before, and it's pretty cool. What it is, basically, they send your loved one, whoever you've gifted this to, a series of questions over a period of time. And once that period of time is complete, it compiles a book. It compiles the story of that person based on how they've answered the question, which is pretty cool.
We talked recently about grandparents and how they're more than just like, hi, how are you? Let me tell you what I'm doing.
Totally.
Like my grandfather, he had some really awesome stories that he shared with me recently. So if you have a grandparent or any family member that you might not know much about, you can have them do this.
Yeah, it's really great. And so basically, it's an online service that helps you and your loved ones preserve precious memories and stories for years to come. It is a thoughtful and meaningful gift that connects you to those who matter most. Like I said before, Storyworth will email your relative or friend a thought-provoking question of your choice from their vast pool of possible options. Each unique prompt asks questions that you've never thought to ask them, either because it just didn't come up, or sometimes like older people don't feel the need to overshare. They want to hear about you and you forget to ask them about them. Here's an example. Like, what's the bravest thing you've ever done in your life? Or if you could see into the future, what would you want to find out? Lots of cool different things, and there's dozens and dozens of them. But reading the weekly stories helps connect you with the loved ones, no matter how near or far apart you are. And after 1 year, Storyworth will compile all of your loved ones' stories, including photos, into a beautiful keepsake book that you'll be able to share and revisit for generations to come. It's very, very cool. With Storyworth, I am giving those that I love the most thoughtful personal gift from the heart and preserving their memories and stories for years to come. Go to storyworth.com/oops and save $10 on your first purchase. That's storyworth.com/oops to save $10 on your first purchase.
Okay. I get annoyed. It's another gender one. I get annoyed.
Oops from the single man's perspective.
Yeah. I get a little bit annoyed. I feel like not whenever, but oftentimes if I'm exiting a building and a woman is exiting ahead of me, she'll rarely just kind of like, just even like half-hearted attempt to hold the door open so it doesn't slam me in the face. I feel like a guy will usually do that, but women are just like, oh, I'm a girl. I don't have to hold the door open for anybody and just go out. And it's like, dude, can you at least acknowledge someone right behind you? I feel like women are not like socially trained to hold the doors open for people, but then there's oftentimes just like basic courtesy to be like, oh, here you go, you're right behind me. And I feel like women are just like, I'm out. And I know that's like, there's a million things that men do that are awful, but like just little things like that, dude. Just little bit of little grading.
We're beginning to skate into Jordan Peterson territory here. A woman wants a man who's going to get there before she even gets to the door. It's your responsibility to sprint to that door. 2.
No, wait. Yes. I said 10 because it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. I think it's a good topic to discuss. I don't think that I keep track of that too. People not holding the door for you, half-ass holding the door. Did they turn around and see you and start to walk faster so that they don't feel responsible for holding the door open for you? I pay mine to that. And, but I've never had the thought that women do it more or less than men. I feel like it's just across the board. Are you a good or bad person? Are you a polite person?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It doesn't have to be gender specific.
It's a good topic.
I tend to agree. This extends also to elevator stuff.
Yeah.
Because like in an elevator, like sometimes it's like, and especially if I don't want to hold the door for somebody any longer, like if I see someone coming, I'll pretend I don't notice them.
Yeah.
So I'll just be like,
Yes.
Didn't see that.
as they're coming,
person.
I'm just like, I'm like really bit. I'm like, texting. But if the door is about to close and like it was 50-50, they could have gotten away with that, but they open it back up. That person gets a ton of points in my book.
If the person coming on?
No, if they're already on and I'm approaching the elevator.
Oh, to you. Yeah.
And
Sorry.
they could easily just let it go and go up because the apartment building ones usually are designed so that you can't keep hitting it open. Like once the door is closed, if you hit open, it won't open back up, which is good ultimately for the flow. But I really respect the people who open it back up for me. And dude, I absolutely hate people who don't hold the door open also.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Just like, come on, I'm right behind, especially if you're like right behind them.
Just
like,
open it for a second.
Come on, man. Yeah. It's just selfish behavior.
You know what my brother does?
Men or women aside, just people.
I don't think that I'm nailing it specifically, but it's close and it's funny. He says that what you should do is you should push the door open more forcefully than you normally would. And in doing that, the door will likely have the hydraulic thing in place that it'll close slowly, thus naturally holding the door for the person who's next.
I like that.
And I'm like, that's a little bit of a cop-out, but it is funny.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing.
Just the effort. Seeing that effort. Even if it slams fast, at least you tried.
Okay, what about this? What if you're holding the door for somebody and suddenly dozens of people start to go through the door and now you've become the doorman?
I know.
I think it's on one of those people who you held it for to then brace it and take over for you.
Yeah, and say thanks.
Everybody should be doing that.
Yep.
You can let go whenever at that point.
Yeah.
Once the floodgates are open, you could let go whenever. Someone needs to be aware.
Even if no one is going for the hand brace, even if everyone's arms straight down, walking through, a bunch of chicks.
Okay, just occasionally.
Poor Danny, dude. How's your love life, dude?
It's well, I'm trying to focus on like work and like paying off some debt right now. So I don't want to take a bunch of girls out on a date right now.
Nice.
But in the next couple months, I'm going to be in a better place. So then I'm going to focus on it more.
Your
I just
discretionary.
want to buy dinners right now. What?
I feel you.
Yeah.
Your discretionary dating budget. Do you typically budget money out for that in a given month?
No.
And when you're going to dinners, how many dinners would you say you've been to in the past year with prospective lovers?
0.
0.
Yeah, I think 0. Yeah, I don't think I've been on a dinner date in the last year.
Oh,
I've been on dates, but not like a dinner date.
So, okay, sorry, but you just specifically said you don't want to buy dinner. So typically, like, you avoid a dinner date because it's like expensive unnecessarily, and you can just get the same level of bonding doing something else.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't usually date to the point where we're on dinner date level.
I agree with you on that. I think that dinner date doesn't need to be an introductory date.
Yeah.
I get that there's some sort of like school of thought sometimes, but it's like, well, if you're going to take me out, like, you think you're just not going to spend any money, but I don't think it has to be like that. I think that a dinner date is something, I have a joke about this that I do, but like that is something you do when you're more comfortable, because especially like if you go on a good date and now you're going to like sleep together, like being full of food from a date, like, is not ideal in my opinion for performance. So it almost feels like you should go on a dinner date after you've already had sex in a way.
Yeah, I agree.
It's also very expensive for
Especially
something where
here.
you walk in there and maybe you don't feel a connection after a minute, and you're like, fuck, now I gotta drop $100+ with this person that I don't want to see anymore. That's a lot of money that's a lot of risk.
And you can drop $100 plus just for like 2 rounds of drinks in the city. So it's like, at what point do I want to spend? I mean, I do like going to dinner. I asked this girl out to dinner a couple weeks ago, and then it ended up not working out. I don't know if I don't know.
Okay, so we need to ground your assessment here, because first you said, I'm trying not to go to dinner. Then you said, I haven't gone to dinner. And now you said you just tried to go to dinner. So which
all
one
three
is it?
of those
dude?
are true.
Those can all coexist.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So trying to avoid dinner. Okay. But you're still trying to work it, like meet somebody nice.
Yes. If it was the right girl, then I would want to take her to dinner. Yeah.
Do you feel any added pressure going into the cold season as far as like wanting to find a regular thing, or do you still kind of just like, you're not looking for a regular thing?
That cuffing season thing, I don't give a
Cuffing
fuck
season.
about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I think that's kind of like really weird for a guy to be like, oh, it's getting chilly. I need a girlfriend now. All right, dude. Relax.
Okay, fine. But you are just looking to have fun these days, or like, what if you met somebody you liked a lot, would you be interested in maybe reserving yourself for that person for an extended period of time, or not? Or like, what are you looking for and what are you open to? Those are 2 different questions.
I think I'm looking for, I read this thing lately. It said being single beats being in a toxic relationship. Being in a great relationship beats being single. And I agree with that. Mm-hmm. So I would like to be in a great relationship. I would like to try to make strides to do that.
Got it.
Yeah.
So does any part of you, like, I didn't know you then, but I know you like lived in Atlanta, you had a girlfriend. Does any part of you be like, that relationship didn't feel that good for me in general, so it makes you less likely to pursue a new one? Or does that have nothing to do with it?
I mean, maybe a little bit, like emotionally, some barriers, but I don't think really, because I knew what was wrong. Like, we didn't agree on kids, family, or religion, and I would just make sure if I dated a woman today that we agreed on kids, family, and religion. You know what I mean?
And what are the 3? How do you stand on those things?
Back then she wanted to have kids and I didn't, and now I might be open to it. And then she kind of became religious, although she says she didn't become. She's always been religious. And then she wanted to like spend a ton of time with her family, but the family didn't live in Atlanta. It was like an hour south of there.
So like every weekend she wanted to go see her family.
I wouldn't want to date somebody that just always was going out of town to be with their family and expected me to go with them. That sounds not fun for me. I need my independence and space a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. You don't need a predetermined life itinerary.
Yeah. I want to be in charge of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. You seem like you've done a good job at it.
Thanks. But maybe I've done too good of a job at it, and now I need to like kind of get some more balance towards being in a good relationship.
Yeah.
But unless I'm wrong, I don't know. Maybe I'm too warped from being single all these years.
Danny occasionally will send me some like mortality quote or something like really bleak. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of sad. I'm like, this guy could use God. No, I'm just joking. I don't know. But I do sometimes think, like, I wonder for a person who's committed to being single, like you, let's say maybe you're not, but let's say you're leaning in that direction. There's nothing wrong with that. That's great. Like, is any part of you afraid of being the guy where they're like, yeah, they found his body and he must have been dead for like 9 days because it smelled disgusting in there, and like nobody called to check in on you. Nobody. Do you ever think about that?
Yeah, I feel like I have enough friends where I probably wouldn't go missing for 9 days. But yeah, I don't do the Bob Saget thing where you hit your head in a bathtub when you're in your 50s on the road by yourself. Like
They did find him the next day though.
Yeah, but it's still kind of a sad way to go, right?
Agreed.
By
And
yourself
also,
in a
yeah,
hotel room.
like you have things that you're doing on any given week that if you were to not arrive to those, people would ask questions.
Yeah.
So at this point, if you were to drop dead on a Monday, you might make it to Friday, but then once you didn't show up at Black Hat, everyone would know you were dead.
Right.
And at that point, that might not even be that bad.
My coworkers would know almost immediately
Oh,
because I had
that's true.
meetings.
Because you wouldn't slack. You wouldn't.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh yeah. I can't. I
Yeah,
can't do
the
it.
slack noise.
I don't know.
Yeah. Whoop. Oh God.
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. They'd know.
People would find out pretty quick.
Yeah. To be honest, like, I think that more of what drove me to wanting to be in a long-term relationship, like, part of it is it's just great. And I was explaining this to somebody the other day, I don't want you to think that I'm doing the thing that people do, because this happened to me recently where a single person was trying to like pick apart the way that I look at about companionship and relationships, and like, just because like my way of living is at odds with their way of living. And I think that they were just trying to prove to themselves that they weren't wrong, but it sort of came off as like challenging my way of life. I didn't take it any particular way.
Yeah.
But I was trying to explain that like, there are certain things where like when you're single, you experience like a lot of highs, but a lot of lows. So like you hook up with a hot chick. Oh my God. I can't believe she talked to me. I went up to her. I was brave. I said, fuck it. I talked to her. I got her number. I went out with her. Now she's in my bed. This is incredible. That is a great moment. Right. But then there's a lot of like lonely moments. And a lot of the time when I was single, didn't always enjoy it because I always felt like I was chasing these big peaks. Whereas now, while maybe I don't get those big peaks anymore, my like status quo is very high, which is nice. And I like that. It's like a nice lifestyle hedge for me. I feel really good most of the time. And I'm sure you do too. But for me, when I was single, I didn't always. I was always either heartbroken or falling in love with someone new. I was never free of either of those. So I never really got to enjoy it.
You didn't have an even keel contentment in between the hits, so to
Yeah,
speak.
I didn't.
Yeah.
So that worked for me. And also sometimes I see some like older comics who like, they were really youthful for a long time, really, really long time, until finally they're just over the hill. They don't really know anybody anymore. They're not that active in the scene. They're alone and they're just talking about their friends constantly. And I'm just kind of like, you seem really sad and lonely. And I'm like, and that scares me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't want that either.
And I know you don't have that either, but sometimes I think about my whole thought process. And when I got into a relationship, I was like very ready. I was like looking for it. So anyway, I don't know how we got on this deep tangent here.
No, but I think about that a lot. And I feel like, I do like being, sometimes if it's late at night, I'll be like, oh, I could text this one girl and I bet she would come over. But then then in the morning, it's like, I don't really like her that much. And like, I just feel like, as soon as we're done having sex, it's going to be like, oh, I wish I could just wake up and like listen to my music and watch college football and like read the New York Times on my laptop and eat some mini muffins, instead of being like entertaining this girl, be like, oh, you want to get breakfast? I can fucking get you a car.
Yeah. At like 4 a.m, you're like, psst, John. You're like,
all right, that's
time to head home, pal.
get the showers.
But yeah, no, it's interesting, man. Okay. So by the way, I hope that this doesn't come off as me trying to show Danny that he shouldn't be single.
No.
I don't give a fuck what you do at all.
Yeah, thank you. I know you don't.
I truly am not one of those people who thinks my friends should live a certain way. I'm completely hands off unless they're being extremely destructive, in which case I don't want to hang out with them. I don't care, but I don't want it to like somehow affect me negatively so they can go deal with their shit. But
I also want to be continuously evaluating my life and thinking, are there ways I can improve? And I think there are ways I can improve. So I don't want to be like resting with the status quo either. And just,
Danny's good like that. He's a corporate lifer. He's good about internal feedback.
Yeah.
He's good about his quarterly peer review.
Yeah.
And sometimes, he has to give it to himself and it can be tough, but that's good, dude.
Yeah.
I have one final thing to say about your lifestyle, actually. Something that I'm a little concerned about.
Oh boy.
I've noticed as the years have gone on, you've started to stay up later and later and later on weekends.
I don't really.
Your median Friday, Saturday night bedtime has gotten later since I've known you.
Interesting.
And I'm wondering if there's anything that we should know about there.
No. How do you know that that's the case? Are you with me when I fall asleep?
No, but I, more often than not, on the times where I happen to be awake past 4:30 in the morning, you are always awake.
Yeah, that's true.
You're my only friend who's always awake at that time.
Really? Yeah.
And maybe you just enjoy it.
I do kind of enjoy it, honestly. Because you know why? Because it's like my life is so disciplined, regimented, Monday through Friday, work 9 to 6, go to the gym, if there's a show, or just like, but then it's like, I just don't have time to like think, you know?
Yeah.
And I like to think. So after midnight on the weekends, I can think.
And you like to prolong the fun, maybe.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want to go to bed yet. This is fun.
Yeah.
I'm doing nothing and it's great.
Yeah. I kind of like, yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe I should go to bed a little earlier, but
I'm not saying that.
yeah.
But yeah, I was just hoping that there was no dark roots.
I'm not like
of
doing
this new
cocaine by myself or anything. No, don't worry. Yeah.
Good.
There's a term for forcing yourself to stay up late. Because you don't have enough time in the day to do things that you want to do, like watch TV and stuff like that.
What is that? I suffer from
yeah.
that.
Let me look it up.
And guys, by the way, one of the most successful clips in the history of this pod is Hillary calling me out on being wasted alone on the couch at 5 a.m. As she's come out on successive times, and I'm still there doing the same thing. So
Having fun.
I clearly do this too.
Revenge bedtime procrastination.
I suffer from that for sure.
I do that too. Last Saturday, I was like done with dinner. I was tired, and I found a wave where I was like, okay, you could fall asleep right now. Like you could really fall asleep right now. And then I let the wave pass, and I stayed up until 4:30, just like watching YouTube, Netflix, TV, just scrolling on TikTok, and for no reason, but just for the sake of feeling like I'm getting to relax more. And I can't relax when I'm asleep because I'm sleeping. So I was making up for lost time that I didn't have during the week to just like consume content and stuff.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah.
I think it's kind of healthy.
I enjoy that time. I enjoy the time.
Yeah.
I enjoy the time. But I wake up, I don't feel great.
Yeah. So
Right.
the problem with me is that the chances are that when I'm doing it, I was like pretty bombed in a way where like not sleeping also then turns into me being really tired Monday. It's better for me to do that Friday night, but Danny's really good about balance when it comes to that kind of stuff. So he like knows when to stop drinking a lot of the time. And you think you apply this to your nocturnal behavior as well?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think, I definitely go in a little too hard on Fridays because of Black Cat and I just get wired. And then on Saturday, I don't go in as hard. And on Sunday, I scale it back. But yeah, I mean, it's fair feedback. I probably should scale it back a little bit.
I don't think you should.
I don't know. I like it though.
I'm
Yeah.
just wondering.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Well, if I want to get into a serious long-term relationship, what percentage of women like to stay up till 4:30 in the morning? It can't be that high.
Well, but dude, I'll tell you this: in the honeymoon stages, maybe you guys will have this really fun social life where you're constantly going out, coming home drunk together, piping,
Yeah.
and maybe it'll be really fun. I don't know. Like, I think there may be a high percentage.
And if I was with a girl that I really loved and we went to bed at like 1 or 2 and got up at 10 and then did something fun, like that sounds fun too. I just I'd rather like enjoy my night hours and then my like late morning hours.
Okay.
Also, it's boring on Saturday mornings. Sorry, there's nothing going on.
The
Like,
streets
yeah.
are dead in the morning.
Yeah, it's just dull.
Yeah, and the rare occasion that I have enough energy to like be out and about, I actually usually really enjoy it. The peaceful. It never happens, but like when it does, I'm like, wow, this is kind of sick.
Yeah.
Well, like we flew on an overnight flight back from wherever. I was with Pete, and we got into the city early in the morning. It was like a Sunday, and there was nobody out, and I was like, oh, this kind of rules. But I'm also extremely tired, so I need to go home and go to bed. But
Yeah. Like kind of Vanilla Sky, Times Square action. Yeah.
a little bit, yeah. What time do you? So I know you like to do that 5 p.m. show on Saturday and Sunday a lot of the time. So what time do you typically wake up? And I think you're a napper, if I recall.
Yeah.
So will you like wake up, have a like brunch kind of meal, chill, take a 2-hour nap, then go to the show?
I usually don't take a nap on Saturdays. I'll usually wake up at around 11:30, maybe noon. Because the college football games start at noon, so I try to get up by then, you know? And then I'll just, I don't usually take a nap because it's only like 5 hours between noon and 5. I'm usually not tired by then.
Right.
I usually don't take a nap on the weekends, actually.
Do you need less sleep as you've gotten older?
I think maybe, yeah, I think when I was a teenager, I slept like 10 hours a night. Now it's just like 7. If I go to bed at 2 and I wake up at 9, I'm fine. That's what
Yeah.
I did last night. I feel
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, and I think I
about
noticed too. I'm very aware of your patterns, being your friend. I always found it interesting how predictable Danny is. So I've noticed too that your weeknight bedtime has gotten slightly later over time.
Yeah. And working from home has enabled me to do that.
Yes.
where I can
Oh,
wake.
that's interesting.
I can go to bed at 2 and wake up at 9 and still be logging on before most other people.
Oh, interesting. Whereas before you needed to take the commute time into effect. Or
Yeah.
into consideration.
It's enabled me to be more of my productive actual self, you know?
Are you impressed with how much I'm monitoring your behavior?
I kind of love it.
I feel like
I'm being selfish. We're only talking about me.
It seems like he won't go more than like 12 hours if he were to die by himself with your monitoring.
Yeah, it's
Julia
true.
would find out fast.
Yeah,
I'd be
you
like,
would know
dude,
right away.
It's
Something's
gum,
up.
It's gum time, and I don't see any movement happening in Danny's apartment. I would see some waves here. The gun time has popped up on the calendar. It is unclear. Or your fucking neighbors would be like, shut up your fucking alarm.
Yeah.
Is there anything more annoying than that? You're in the gym and someone's phone in their locker has their alarm going off.
Oh, yeah.
I wish that there was a button that could just like send a shockwave that ended the alarm. Shatter the person's phone. Ryan, life doesn't happen bi-weekly, so why should payday? The money that you earn can be in your hands today with EarnIn. EarnIn is an app that gives you access to your pay as you work, up to $100 per day, or up to $750 per pay period. Just download the EarnIn app and verify your paycheck, then access up to $100 a day as you work and leave an optional tip. Any money you access plus tips are automatically repaid from your next paycheck. And dude, listen, there's some times where you just might need access to a little bit more cash. Maybe you're waiting for payday to come up and you want to go on a special date. You need cash because it's important to have cash when you go on a date, in my opinion.
Very sexy to have cash.
Very
when you go on a
sexy to
date,
have cash.
as we all know now.
But why fight an uphill battle? Just have access to your money that you're going to get eventually anyway. You're doing something that's completely reasonable, in my opinion. And EarnIn is the perfect tool and vehicle to help you do that. Make EarnIn a part of your financial routine and join EarnIn's over 3.5 million customers who say things like, when I think about EarnIn, I think about financial stability, security. It gives me a lot of peace of mind. Download EarnIn today, spelled EARNIN, in the Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the EarnIn app, type in Oops under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. Oops under podcast. Subject to your available earnings, location, daily max, and pay period max. See earnin.com/TOS for details. EarnIn is a financial company, not a bank. Bank products are issued by Evolve Bank and Trust, member FDIC. You have more topics for us. How many more you got, Danny?
I have, besides the 2 about you guys, I only have 2 more.
Okay. We'll quickly run through these.
All right. Okay, women. I'm just kidding. This is at the gym though too. I mean, it's kind of similar to the other one, but it's different though. People walking with a violently fast sense of purpose in a very narrow corridor filled with people. I hate that. Why are you walking so fast when it's super cramped? Like, dude, you're not the most important person. Wow.
Tens.
That's my first perfect 10.
Tens.
That's a perfect.
both.
That is a perfect oops topic.
Really?
That's great.
Yep. A pet peeve that is specific enough.
It's a turkey
but
move.
Turkey.
That person, whoever's moving that quickly, is a complete turkey. It could be in the gym. It could be whatever, wherever. But a lot of the time, if I'm in the gym, especially begrudgingly, I'm like, ugh, I don't feel like being here, but I have to because so I don't completely deteriorate.
Yeah.
And there's some moron like listening to his music, getting all psyched to like use the same station for the first 1 hour straight, so no one else can use it. He's doing power cleans and dropping the weights and going. Ugh. I hate that guy.
Me too.
I'm like, you're special in a bad way.
Selfish.
Selfish loser behavior. Well done.
I hate it.
I have no,
Wow, 10
I have
out
no
of 10.
comment. Just annoying.
Maybe I should just go out on a high note, man.
No,
Jesus.
bro. Bring the heat.
All right. What if I hate this? This may be a work thing or personal. You email someone will email me as a recruiter and they'll be like, "Hey, Danny, can I have this job?" And then I politely reply saying no in a fair and professional way, and I'm very courteous. And then they they never respond to say, "Thanks for letting me know." They just don't respond. But if I had replied and said, "Hey, I'm going to give you what you want," they would have replied immediately. It's like, why can't you use your manners just because you didn't get what you want?
Yeah,
Wow,
Listen
dude,
up,
back to
back to
back.
back.
These are
Tens.
good topics.
These are good, Danny.
Wow, thanks, y'all.
These are really good. You're welcome, y'all.
That's very unprofessional.
That's very fucking unprofessional and
hate it.
so obnoxious. Hey, dude, can I come on your pod? oh, dude, sorry, we don't have any, we're booked out, no response. Any like ask of a favor, it's like, bro, I don't owe you anything. Or when I used to like have a show too, like the way people would ask me to do my show and then like, we're not offering anything back, acting so entitled as if I should want to put them on my show. Dude, it's my show.
Yeah.
I can put anyone on my show I want. I don't give a fuck about you at all.
Right.
I'm sorry that you're upset that I don't think you're good enough to be desperate to have you on my show. I don't feel that way. I'm sorry.
I couldn't agree more.
And to not respond, and then what if something changes? And then like, what if you say, oh, thanks, if anything changes, let me know. Things change. Like you might reach back out if they send you a response. But there's no way you're going to do that if they just completely ghost you.
How about I agree with what you're saying, but let's take off the if anything changes, let me know. Because then you're asking again.
True.
How about just saying like, okay, no worries, man. Thanks for letting me know. Hope you have a great weekend.
Even that's
100%.
fine.
You know?
That still keeps the door open at a potential opportunity if something changes.
Yeah.
Right.
But
you
now
don't
I
need to
like
say
you
it.
because the way you handle that.
Dude, thanks so
Exactly.
much. No problem at all. If anything were to open up in the future that you think I'd be a good fit for, if you keep me in mind, I'd appreciate it.
I'd say take off that last sentence. I know that you want it. I don't need you to repeat that you want it. You know?
Right.
Yeah,
So I say
I
if
get
there's
that.
anything pops in the future, then what do I say?
No, just be like, hey, okay, no worries. Totally understand. Have a great weekend.
So I don't even say that
No,
you
because
know I want stuff.
I know you want stuff. I don't need you to reiterate that you want something. It's annoying. It's just, I've been recruiting for 23 years and people do that to me all the time. And a call too. They'll be like, "Oh, do you know what the next steps in the process are?" And I tell them at the end of the call, they go, "So the next step." I'm like, "Dude, we just." And now it makes me probably overly sensitive in comedy because I just get it all day at work too.
Yeah,
It's okay. It's okay. All right. Very good. And now the final two, which are directly related to Lynch and I.
Yeah.
You seem afraid to do these. For some reason.
Actually, I'm fine now.
Just do them, dude.
We almost discovered one. All right, this is one of Giulio's pattern. Like Giulio does not. If I ask Giulio over text, like, "Hey, how was whatever event?" The extent of his response will always be, "It was good, man." And so I've to the point that I've stopped asking him how things went because I know the answer is going to be, "It was good, man." And then I think like maybe you think that I don't care about your event.
This is
but
great.
I know that
This is great, dude. Tens across the board again. Palmer has caught his stride. Dude, that's really funny. No, I just feel like, so it's funny. It's funny you say that. You're like, oh, is he annoyed? Like, why is he answering so briefly?
Yeah.
I feel weird like carrying on about whatever it was that I did.
Yeah.
If you're like, how was the show? And I was like, well, there was, 3 days before we'd only sold 30 tickets and I was a little worried. And as luck would have it, on Showtime, there were 150 people in those seats. And as I looked out onto the crowd, Danny, I was like, wow, you've made it. You know what I mean? I'm afraid of whatever I'm saying sounding like that. Some like delusion of grandeur response. I just take it as a pleasantry. Nice. You're asking, and I think that's nice of you to ask, but I feel bad about the idea of boring you with a response. Maybe I shouldn't feel that.
Okay. That's nice.
This is good work. It's nothing against you, and I'm not dismissing you by only being brief. I just don't want to like start pounding you with text.
Oh, that's so nice. But I'm your good friend. Like I would be interested in hearing it.
Okay.
And not to a point where you have to be like, oh, X thing happened that was good. Showed you it was good. Just like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's one thing that Zach McGovern and I do well with each other. Be like, how was the show? And he'll be like, this was good. This was bad. This went great. This one, just like a quick little summary. That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how we overanalyze giving,
This is so stupid.
giving and receiving messages?
Yeah.
I have these thoughts too. No, it's I bet everybody can relate to this.
How much information does your friend want? Yeah, that's nice. That's good.
Because now you have clarification.
I like your response. Now I know why.
Now you don't need to be anxious about it. If you
That's
were
so
anxious
funny.
about it.
I do that. It was good, man.
Good, man.
I was like, eh.
Because then I stopped asking, and then I'm like, well, now Julia's gonna think that I don't care about whatever he was doing.
Yep.
But I do care. But I know that I don't want you to be like, good, man, or feel obligated to say it was good, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
It's the but now and
that's
it's
nice.
the but
Communication.
then. It's the but now and but then thoughts that come into your head.
Yeah.
Multiple outcomes.
And I'll tell you what, chances are I feel that way. Like what it was good is a pretty wide spectrum, whereas some of our friends might be like a little negative leaning. Like they can take something that was actually good and make it bad or only see the bad part of it.
Yeah.
I like to think I'm fair enough with myself to be able to be like, there were negative things about it, but there were also good things about it. I feel like you're pretty good at that too, to be honest.
Thanks.
So in order for me to be like, it was terrible, that doesn't happen that often, but it does happen. And even then I'll feel bad because then I'm like, I know now he's going to feel bad about asking because I just said it was terrible and he thinks that now he's triggered me into propelling myself into a bad mood or something.
Right.
I'm like, dude, it was terrible. You're like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. Like,
Right.
I didn't know. I just thought. I'm like, no, it's fine. It's all
I guess,
good.
and maybe that's on me too for saying how was it, because that's asking you to give a. But I could just be like, hey, anything of note, like if there was a funny story. I don't care how the event went.
Yeah,
If there's
totally.
something funny that happened,
You don't need to clarify. I know what you're doing when you say it, and like if it happened to not be good, I'm not upset at you for asking. How the fuck are you supposed to know?
Right.
I'm reasonable enough. How was the event? Oh, dude, I'm actually dead. This is an automatic
Fuck you for
response.
asking.
I'm dead, and because I have a girlfriend or a fiance, she knew immediately.
she saw my body.
Have fun
You fucking
decomposing.
single loser.
Have fun decomposing in your studio apartment and nobody noticing.
I have a dishwasher.
All right, last one.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's say that you run a fairly good show, and then a newer comic asks to get on the show, and then you put them on, and then maybe you even like take a couple pictures of them after the show, send them the pictures. That's fun. That was a good exchange. 6 days later, would you send that person an unsolicited email being like, here's my avails for the next month?
Are you talking about him?
Yeah.
I sent you a message. Oh, I'm glad you brought this up.
I didn't ask for your avails for the next month. I don't know why you gave them to me. I guess
God.
our fun exchange is over. 10? Whoa.
Well, because I want to talk about it.
I almost didn't want to bring it up.
I think
I really don't care, dude.
that's okay. I didn't know, but I sent Danny. Danny.
I give that a 9.
Wow. Okay.
The -1 for how uncomfortable I am right now.
I know.
I'm okay.
That's why I didn't want to do it. I'm sweating.
No, I'm glad you did. I'm glad.
Really?
I'm glad yeah. Brothers of Pie Cap. I did it. I didn't know any better, so I just asked. I thought I didn't know what to even say. You're the first person that has booked me for a show, so I just.
Well, that's more on me then. So I'm sorry.
No. If I mean, after we just answered the last question, I can see how that can be frustrating when someone asks. I forget exactly what I said to you. I said I think I'm available whenever. Is there any
Yeah,
time
you said
want?
it like in October, and I was like, well, I didn't ask you when you were available, but thanks for the heads up.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now I'm uncomfortable.
But you know what though? But that's a dick move on my part too, because I've been booking this show for a long time, and it's perfectly normal for someone to say that. But I'm just so used to like I'll let people know, but I haven't communicated that to you, so how would you know? You know.
But now that I know,
But I don't want to put up a sign in my Instagram profile and be like, "Don't email me asking for spots." What?
But now that I know, then I won't do that to anybody else.
Yeah. Well, maybe other people.
Well, this is a good. Let's figure out.
Should we look
Yeah.
at the messages? Like,
Well, but if you don't have to relive it, the shame if you don't want. But we can figure out what is the appropriate way for a new comic who wants to get stage time to pursue asking an independent booker of a show, because those are most likely the first shows that person's going to get on. How do you do that appropriately?
I think at the show, or like, I think you just shouldn't say anything for at least a couple weeks.
okay.
I think you should just let a couple weeks go by and see if the person wants to. I mean, obviously, I know that it's just inherent that every comic wants an unending series of spots. It's built into the equation. It's built into the matrix. So, and I wasn't going to reach out to you to book you again. I just wasn't going to do it like 6 days later. Mm-hmm. So that was the only thing I was like, dude, I just fucking. Makes you feel like the nice thing you did is now eclipsed by the new request.
Got it. Was
But
it within
that's
a week?
not on you to know that.
Was it within a week? It was. I think
It was like it was like the next Thursday.
Yeah, it was about a week.
But it's
Yeah.
perfectly. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Good for you. is all I
Yeah,
have
you're
to
right.
say.
It's assertive.
Danny can fuck off. Send as many messages as you want.
No.
Well, dude, look, like, it's hard because you do need the stage time, and there's only a finite amount of it, even though there are so many shows, and everybody's hustling to try to get on them. So inevitably, you're going to ruffle the feathers of some fucking ornery independent show booker like Danny.
And I need to be more assertive in my
and look,
asks. So I'm learning from you too.
Well, look, it's okay because, you don't want to annoy the person to the point where you're not going to get any more spots from them ever. But there are enough of the shows that you can kind of like make the rounds so that you don't end up in this situation. So it's like, he has 100 people asking him for spots, right? And these are all people who are giving him nothing. Although you could argue you're putting him on the show.
That's why I
And this
rebooked
is
him
a
so
good,
fast.
Yeah, exactly. This is a nice thing for him to be able to come on the show. So,
Absolutely.
So that's part of it. There's like a give and take, which is part of the reason why running your own show is a very good, useful tool. For networking, you get to meet people. Inevitably, even if it's unspoken, those people who you put on your show will put you on their show. And especially since they know you have a big following kind of, and you have like the show and whatever. So to me, that is an honest mistake.
Yes.
And you're learning how Danny runs his operation. Don't feel bad about it.
No.
No, but that's good to know. I'm glad you said that to me, because I probably would have done the same. You didn't respond.
I waited a while. Yeah.
No. I know that. I know that. I was in my head for a week about that. I was like,
oh, no.
I talked to Giulio about it, and I'm like, don't put Giulio in the middle of it.
No. I went to my girlfriend. I was like, oh my god, like, should I not have said anything?
Oh no, are you serious? I'm sorry, man.
It's okay.
I should have replied to you right away. I'm sorry.
No, you have a system. That's fine. I just learned what it was.
But how would you know? Like, it's on me.
Well, all right, but say you walk out of the show, dude, thanks for coming. If the guy's like, come anytime, then you can maybe hit them up sooner, but you don't expect to actually go every time, because going every time, you will wear out your welcome if you go every time.
Right.
Most of the time, unless you're like doing something for that person. And, all you can do is provide value. So a lot of the time, I would argue this, if someone tags you in a poster, I mean, people came to see him at Black Hat because he talked about it, by the way.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Cool.
Lynch,
Oh, well,
Lynch Drew. You didn't know that.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
So there's
And
added
I feel
value.
like I'm even more of a dick. What?
No, listen, dude. It's all right. Dig your own grave. It's fine, dude. The show, I'm sure.
No, that makes me uncomfortable. Stop that.
No. But dude,
That means nothing.
But like, yeah, so that's the whole thing. Like, what do you have to offer to the show? You now, there might be shows where you go on where nobody on that show has a decent following or anything. And maybe you're like a big deal on that show, or it's a show like his where you're newer and whatever. So,
And you're a friend of a friend too.
yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. I wouldn't even necessarily call this that much of a learning experience specifically, but it's interesting to see that play out in real time.
Yeah. And I also have OCD from like, or what's the word? PTSD from like years of people like this other comic put him on. Next day he goes, hey man, you gotta get my friend on from I'm like, dude, I just did you. I don't know who you are from Adam. And now the next day, that's happened to me like 3 times. And not that you did that, but the cumulative effect, psychological effect. I just hate being asked something and then not providing it. And now I'm the dick. I just hate that feeling.
I get that.
Yeah.
So guys, right out that door, there's a balcony. We're on the 35th floor. Why don't we all just go jump off of it right now?
Holding hands.
It's better than this.
The Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Cool.
All right. Well, that was great. I love that Danny was just like, ooh, am I going to bring up that last topic?
Wait, did you text him about it before? Or
No.
was this just on the?
I didn't. I was unaware of
Cool.
that Danny had this thought in any capacity.
I knew my one, because I don't want to tell you. I knew my one towards you was a little softer. That's why yours was the first.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Yours is a little harsh. I'm
When you
sorry.
started reading your thing, I was like, oh, that sounds similar to like, oh, that's about what I did.
This has been very cathartic, honestly.
That's funny, dude. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad mine wasn't more savage. At one point, I was like, "Is Danny gonna like say some absurd shit right now?"
I don't really have anything savage about you.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I mean, I don't really. Yeah, there isn't any.
Cool. Good. Fuck you. Anyway, Oops the Podcast, another great one. Danny Palmer, always a memorable guest. Well, let's first up add our cumulative scoring of Danny.
Okay.
Ooh.
Because there's no basis for comparison, because this is the only time we have ever, and likely will ever do this. But
All right. So
This won't be happening again.
this won't be happening again. But it was good.
Giulio scored a 51, and I scored a 69.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
So I did better with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That was fun.
Well done. Yeah, he's the Randy, and I'm Simon. I'm the tougher
right.
grader, apparently. But Oops the Podcast, 12/16 Toronto, big show. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Really pumped about it. Looking to sell that shit out. So chances are it's maybe progressing in that direction a bit. So try to get those tickets as soon as you can. oopsthepodcast@gmail.com, at Oops the Podcast. Follow Danny at Danny Palmer NYC
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Yes.
Cool.
Thank you.
Anything else you got to promote?
The Danny Palmer Show podcast. Black Hat every Friday, 9 o'clock, 172 Remington.
Cool. Lynch may or may not be back. We will see. And Ryan, what about you?
Ryan is really polite, and yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Sweet.